Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Welcome back to another exciting episode of LT Showcase. This is the first of 4 8-bit NES RPGs. And we're going to start off with Tombs and Treasures. So let's get tombing and let's get treasuring. Woo!
There's a lot of games out there, some of which you've never even heard of. That's where I come in. I'm Lucious T. I've been playing games since the age of 2, and I have no life. This is Retroactive.
So Tombs and Treasure was a game I never knew of growing up. Man, this guy's an idiot. But you know who a bigger idiot is? The YouTube algorithm. Because it's punishing our boy, Lucious T. So make sure to support the man by commenting, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. It helps a lot. The only reason I even picked it up is because Johnny Millennium, I think on his 100,000 subscribers stream, or something like that, maybe his 10-year, recommended this as a NES hidden gem. And I looked it up, it was like 10, 13 bucks, and called Tombs and Treasures. I'll pick it up. You know what? I'll try it. So I've had it there sitting for a few years now, and I came up with this idea of doing these 8-bit NES RPGs, and I've seen some debate on whether this game is an RPG or not. I gotta say, it's probably way more of a point-and-click adventure than an RPG, but it does follow the RPG tropes. You level up, you fight enemies, you get experience, with a twist. So anyways, the offset of the game is you're going out to hunt some famous doctor who went missing and his team investigating these Mayan ruins, and you have to go out there and find out what's going. As you're about to leave, the last survivor of that thing, the guide, he says, I'll guide you back there. And so you have a team of 3 people. You have your main character, who's really just good at fighting. You have the female character that's the doctor's daughter. I think you guys are kind of love interests too, and her role is she can play music and a couple other things. And then the third one is the guide, who is the bronze, the muscle of the group, and then his special ability is he can push stuff. So those are your 3 team members. You start off in a doctor's office, and you have to pick up the sword, pick up a key, pick up a few other things, and luckily you have an unlimited inventory, but it's kind of, those are your commands. You have pick up, put, wash, fight, go away, move forward, move back. It's point and click adventure. It doesn't work great, but it's also not that bad for an NES game. It's not, I would say Maniac Mansion does it way better, but this is also kind of a hybrid of a dungeon crawler view because of the way the map and the screen is set up. When you walk out of locations, you have kind of a open map, is this plain green, and you can see different areas, but knowing which is an area you can walk into is a huge problem. It's a huge problem, which I will admit, in order to beat this game, after wandering around for a couple hours, I did have to open up a guide, just because you don't even know. It was mainly the guide was just to see where the hell I could go. Because you'll walk around and you're like, oh, can I go in here? Can I go in there? I haven't found a secret entrance into I think the nunnery or one of the areas where it gave you a hint as to what to do, which was cool. So I don't know if there's more secrets like that throughout the game. But more or less, there's a pathway you have to follow. You have to go here, get this thing, go here, unlock this thing. And how you would figure this out, some of the stuff is just insane. There's one area where you get this place where you got to have light come out of a circle, and then once the light goes, it shines at this other area, which then you have to inspect and smash, and then get the item, and then go back to the columns, and then put that on it, have it go to another area, smash it, and then come back, and then know, oh, I gotta push this column, open up a secret staircase, then go up there, and then do this, and then take it off, and then put a stand, and then put it, it's definitely, it'd be a fun time waster, if not for the fact that you can have lose conditions. So on the first play, so I did 2 playthroughs. I had my first playthrough where I ended up screwing myself because you can get items and then combine them. So you'll get these jewels, you gotta combine it with your sword, make it more powerful. You get your, you get the Band-Aid, you combine that with the broken flute, and then that makes a flute that the chick can play. Well, one of them is the little metal rod. You combine it with the bowl, and it becomes a compass that you need to navigate a labyrinth. However, once you combine those, you can't separate it. And why that's an issue is that there's a key that you need that small rod to get. And if you do that combination before you get that key, you're screwed. Making matters worse, the area that you need to use the compass is directly after you get that key. So it's kind of funny. because you'll get stuck in the game. So naturally, if you get stuck, you're going to start combining stuff. And that's what I did, and I combined the rod with that. And luckily, it's a fairly short game once you know where you're going. I was able to get back to the spot that I had died at, because I got stuck in a room. It even told me the game said to reset, because if you continue through the game and you don't go the way you're supposed to, so you get into the warriors area, or the ball place, there's a blue cube. You take the blue cube out and opens up a doorway. If you go in that doorway and then take the green jewel, the door shuts behind you, and because you haven't unlocked the other entrance from using the compass thing, you're stuck there forever. The game says to reset. And there is a save system, I think, but I was just gonna beat it in one sitting. But back to the RPG-ness of it, this is where it's kind of weak, because it's either you're gonna beat the enemy or you're gonna die. And the way you can tell that, and that's what the clue said. The clue in the nunnery said, look at all your enemies. So you can observe them when you get into a fight, and it'll tell you either you're outmatched or you should be able to kill them. And once you get to that point, you can kill it pretty easily. And after you do that, you level up generally. And then after you do certain tasks throughout the game, you level up. So combining the blue crystal with the sword will give you a level up. Opening a door will give you a level up. So it's kind of, who knows where it is, but you need to get to a certain level, because if you get later in the game without doing this stuff, you will get destroyed by the final bosses. I know that because that's what the guide said, because after I had to reset the game, I was like, screw this, I'm doing this, I'm beating this damn thing now. It was an enjoyable, sure, it's a fun NES experience, I gotta say that. It definitely is the closest I've ever got to feeling like I'm playing one of those dungeon crawler, point-and-click adventures, much more so even than Maniac Mansion, because of the presentation. Now, I haven't played Deja Vu or Uninvited or any of those other ones, so they might do it better. But combat is literally just attack, attack. There's some nice story elements. You got a good betrayal in there. It does explain things pretty well. It's very cleverly set up, except for the part where you go into the Well of Sacrifice and you inexplicably leave the guide and the girl up top, and then when you get back there, of course, the girl's kidnapped and the guide was knocked out. But other than that, it's a solid game. One of the best things I've ever played? No. Is it something I'd recommend you spending a lot of money on? No. Do I recommend buying it? It's interesting. Is it something I'm going to play again? Maybe. I mean, if you're going into it blind, which you should, it's just so... The number one thing is it's hard to know where areas are. There's no overhead map either. So you really, if you're playing this, you're going to want to get a pen and pencil and you're going to want to write stuff down. So that's kind of cool, but yeah. If I was going to give it a rating, probably a 7, maybe a 6. Yeah, 6. That's more like it. See, I give bad ratings sometimes. So yeah, you could skip this one, but it's still interesting. I can see what Johnny was going for. It's definitely not something you would think of, and I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I played it. I just can't recommend it. Alright, so there you go. So nice getting a hold of you guys. Take care.